All right guys, today we got a 2014 BMW 328. It's got a really crazy, unusual problem. You've probably never seen it before. Let's get into it. So the client's concern with this vehicle is they're getting water into the vehicle. We've all seen that before. They don't know where the water's coming from. The driver's rear floorboard is about an inch deep in water. So we've all seen that. We're gonna figure out where the water's coming from. But here's the one that we've never seen before. I'm wondering if you guys have ever seen it. If you have, leave a comment down below. Since the water's been coming in, now this vehicle will call 911 anytime you do anything with the vehicle. When you get into this vehicle, it's gonna call 911. 911 answers the call. I mean, it will sit there and constantly call them. So we've talked to the dispatch center. They understand the car's doing it. They're aware about, the phone number that's calling them. They have to continue to answer. I'm like, can you just not answer it? Or obviously they can't not answer it. So we're gonna have to kind of deal with that. My game plan is this. We're gonna get in this vehicle. You're gonna see it's gonna call 911. We're going to scan the vehicle as quick as possible to kind of give us a direction to go in. I don't want to disconnect the battery or anything. I don't want to disconnect an antenna or a module because I got to figure out, we're assuming that there's going to be water getting into something. So this may be fairly straightforward, but we got to get there quick. So we're going to, I'm going to grab a scanner. Then we're going to open the car up. I'm going to hook the scanner up to it, and we're going to go forward, and we're going to have to deal with it calling 911 while we're doing this. So let me get a scanner up, let me get it ready to go, and then we're going to open the door and go. We're going to use the Altel. I would probably want to use ISTA for this normally, but ISTA is going to take a while to scan this vehicle and get everything up and running. And I mean, this thing's going to steady call 911. What we're probably looking for here, we understand there's telecommunications module, something's gotten wet. We just got to figure that out. But I definitely want to use the codes and stuff as our beginning of our path. So let's go ahead and get in here and let's get it going. Gotta go quick.
Takes a second, but it's about to start by.
Okay. It's calling 911 right now.
What's the address of the emergency?
No emergency. This is the car that's calling you again.
It's the car.
Yes.
No problem.
Thank you. All right, bye.
No problem.
Just gonna keep doing it.
Unfortunately.
I'm saying tell them that. Doing it again.
What's the address of the emergency?
No emergency. This is the car calling you again, and it's going to probably call you for the next few minutes while I'm trying to get it figured out. Sorry.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we're trying to scan the vehicle here. We're going to let it do its thing. Obviously, we've got no response or anything. We do have 12.7, 12.6 volts showing at the DLC. Okay. So, I mean, technically, we should be able to, at least get something. I mean, they drove the car in here. And here it's calling 911 again.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's the car calling again.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
No problem.
All right, we're seeing a pattern here. When this thing calls, it calls twice. This green light blinks. And then it calls. And hopefully it'll only call twice.
County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's the car calling again.
Okay, all right.
Sorry,
All
we're
right.
trying.
No, you're fine.
Thank you. Alrighty, bye-bye. All right, then it said call failed. Blinks fast. See, I'm looking up here too at the screen. The screen does nothing now because it'll sit there and say so right now. So let's try to, again.
Shows water damage.
And we're still scanning. We're getting no response out of anything, which is We do have a lot of water in the rear here. The only thing is, I mean, we do have, it's damp here on the side, right? So when I see water like this, the first thing I need to know, well, where's that water coming from, right? It's got to, you know, it's obviously not coming up from the bottom. So, I mean, it's damp around the edges, but hard to tell. So I think what we need to do, I mean, first thing we need to do is kind of figure out this, if we knew where the water was coming from, we could then go to a module. Let's look in the trunk, because these things are notorious for modules being in the trunk and I don't want to mess up his tools here. All right, let's just see if we see anything down here wet. And sadly, not a drop of water in there. Let's look over here. See if we see any water by the battery. Not a drop. All right, so we are the normal suspects have been exonerated, and we're going to move on from there. Gotta get a pen back in there. All right. Okay, let's see if we got anything on the scan results at all. And that would be a big old no. Nothing responded. Okay. Okay. And now we got to call 911 again. I sat in the car and we called 911 again. I didn't do anything. So after doing some research, you know, we're looking for what can cause this. This clearly has gotten worse in time. So they drove this car in here last night, and today we've got no power up, no nothing. We can't communicate with anything. So whatever's happened has progressed and got worse. So normally, in a situation like this where we've got water in a car and it's causing some issues, my path that I would want to go down is I want to find out where the water's coming in. I want to get that fixed, or at least I want to know what's going on with it so that we can eliminate that. In this case, you know, my go-tos would be a sunroof drain, right? Possibly a door seal, maybe a window that's messing up, and maybe it was down a little bit, and maybe it's binding up or something, or, you know, these things are automatically up, maybe pop down a little bit. But in this case, I have none of that. I can't open the sunroof. I can't get into anything. So we're going to take a little different path, and we're going to simplify this a little bit. So initially, I'm, you know, after Tank, come on, come on, come on, buddy, come on, girl, come on. Getting close to that road. All right. So initially, I thought this was going to be easy, and then I thought, well, this might be really difficult because we have no communication with anything. You know, again, I started to peek down that rabbit hole, backed up a little bit. Let's simplify this. There's one spot in this car that has water, and that's it. That floorboard's dry. The other two front floorboards are dry. The trunk is dry. The sun or the headliner, I don't feel anything there. So we're going to focus on where the water is, because the water came in, and then we started having problems. The water's causing something, and that's where the water is. So here's my plan. We're going to take this seat out, and this seat, I think, hopefully will move. All right, the seat does move. Thank goodness for that. So we're going to get this seat out, and we're going to look up under here to see, you know, do we see a ground problem? Maybe there's, you know, a connection. I mean, that water's getting into something. Is there a module or something under there that I haven't found in my research? Maybe. So we're going to get that out, and then we're going to see what's under there, and then we're going to go forward from there and hopefully find our communication problem and our 911 call problem all in one spot. I feel like we will, but I just can't put those together as to why anything in the telematics system would cause the car to go dead. So we're going to go down that path. We're going to get the seat out. We're going to come right back. I've got the seat loose, got the bolts out of it, and I'm going to try not to pull this seat all the way out. What I'm going to try to do is lay this seat back, and the reason is if we look right here, the seat belt goes here. So in order to get the seat all the way out, I'm gonna have to pull this trim off, or possibly this. I really don't want to mess with plastic on a 10-year-old vehicle. I don't know about where everybody else lives, but where we live, this stuff it's super hot. This stuff's brittle, and the chances of it breaking are pretty high. So we're gonna try not to do that. So I'm just gonna try to scoot this thing back, lean it back, and then so we've got the connector for the seat. You want to go to the other side?
Okay.
And see? Yeah. So, and probably when he opens that door, you have a good possibility of it maybe calling 911 again. Maybe not though. Let's see if we can't get in here and take a look. So we see the water here. We don't. Yeah, see that's it. Man, look at that water. Where's that? So now we might see if we can't feel where this. It's definitely wet forward. That could just be soaking forward though. Oh no, look at here. It's wet here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take this out. This actually, now that I see our paper here is wet. Oh, it's wet up here too. Look at that. It is wet up here. Way more wet than I thought initially.
911.
Sorry, it's the car again. We're getting close.
That's okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
alrighty. And it'll probably call a second time. All right, so we're going to see.
County 911.
It's the car again.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Oh, we are lots of water up here. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. This is tons and tons of water. We got a connector here. Totally soaked. Let me see if I can't get this back a little. See, really, if I cannot. All right, cool. All right, let's see if we can't get that back out of the way. Well, no matter what happens, the carpet's gonna have to probably come out of this thing. There's no way we're gonna get all this water out of the foam. All right, let's see if we can't get this piece out. Just to see if there's anything under it. Nothing under that. Let's see if we
Tie that seat like that in the headrest.
can we do what?
Like tie the headrest to the other headrest. So
Yeah.
it hangs up.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me go get something. All right, let me go get something to do that with. All right, so we got something to hold the seat back, so sure we wouldn't have to hold the seat and man the camera. And then I went and got a Torx for this to take this little cover off right here. Don't know what I'm finding under the cover, but I want to get it out of the way because there's no telling what's under it. All of this wire could any of this, if I've got, even when you see just a harness and it doesn't look like there's anything, just solid wire, sometimes you can have splices and stuff in here, and that the water gets in the splice, it'll corrode it. So we're gonna have to look at all this pretty close and see if we can't. All right, speaker. All right, that's a lot of water here. So I think, yeah, this water, still don't know where the water's coming from. All right, that's the only connector that I see at this point, at least. Let me pop this cover off, is this guy. I'm gonna see if we can't maybe get this up off of here. Just to look down in here. Nothing obvious. Other than the water. Okay. Looks like that just goes to the speaker. Let's just disconnect this thing. I don't have any clue what it is, but it's the only connector here that's in the water. Let's see if we can't figure this little guy out. Alright, we gotta get a little, release that. Double pin there. Here we go. Oh! Look at there. Got something. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's definitely a problem.
Space two.
Say again?
I was just getting a good view.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crusties.
Yeah, that's the crusties, green crusties. As
Eric.
shout out to Eric. He be all over this. He probably would have sniffed that out. All right, from a long time ago. All right, I got some cleaner. Let me get some. Actually, I got some cleaner that I learned about from Eric. So I'm gonna get some, and we're gonna get that cleaned up and put it back together. I don't know that that's gonna be the whole thing. I don't know what this goes to. We could sit there and try to look that up, but you know, again, we're trying to get the car fixed. So let me go get some cleaner, and we'll come right back and we'll clean that up and we'll see what we do. So we got the Detoxic D5 that Eric highly recommends. And then this stuff is a shield, I guess you put on afterwards. So we're going to clean it with this, and we'll put the links in here because I got these off Amazon. And, you know, the guy that does the crusties is the guy that recommends it. So I'm going to go with it. All right, so let's go ahead and just get as much out of this as we possibly can.
You should have gloves
It's
on.
definitely cleaning. You're right, I should have gloves on 100%. I sit there and preach to everybody else because I guarantee you all the chemicals that I've gotten through my skin. All right, that did a pretty doggone good job. Let's see what it does here. Should probably have a rag in here. Not like it won't mix with the 45 gallons of water on the floor. Yep, all right. It looks pretty doggone good. A little more right there. You guys can probably see it better than I can. It's amazing how good you can see it in the camera, and for me it's difficult.
You see the other one?
I want to just make sure that's...
Yep. Looks clean.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and do this one while we're at it because I know it got water in it. I know it's just a speaker. Oops, but we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, because it is full of water. Oops. I'm going to get something actually. I'm going to leave this off.
You get that on the side here in a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to get that. I'm going to leave that off, and we'll get that where we can blow it out. And pretty good. We're out here in the parking lot because the car won't start, so it looks pretty doggone good, to be honest with you.
Let's go.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna put this other stuff on it because I'm thinking that you do that now. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, you know, and these are communication lines right here because they're twisted. So, you know, something like that could take down the network. We're going to find out. Keys. I think I took them out of here. I have no idea why I took them back inside, but they're back. And, oh, well, we've got Hold remote control to steering column. Engine control. Engine will not start. Got more than we had before. Okay. Well, we've got more than we had before.
Can we open and close the doors and see if it calls them?
We can. Not seeing the light blinking. Let's go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and shut the doors. I want to shut the doors anyway and lock it. See if it'll unlock. You gonna stay in there? Okay. Nope, definitely does not. The remote's not doing anything. So, it's interesting. Very interesting, actually.
Question is, are they going to call a cop? It's not doing anything.
Yeah, right now it's
Every
not
other time
doing
it's
anything.
doing that.
Yeah, it was very regular before, and this light right here would flash.
Yeah.
And do stuff. So we have made progress. Now, whether or not we have fixed it, I don't know. But let me get the scanner hooked up to it and let's see if we can't scan it again, and then let's go forward from there. And let's just see if we can't get any kind of data now, because now we've definitely got something happening different on here. So let me get that scanner hooked back up, and then we'll go forward from there. So we got the car running. Here's what we did. It's not calling 911 anymore, which happened even before we got it running. You know, this thing would constantly call 911 a couple times in a row anytime you like closed the car up, opened it back up and stuff. So that was fixed when we cleaned this connection down here, but the car still wouldn't start. So again, we're trying to keep things simple. We went and we put a battery in the remote because it acted like it just couldn't see the remote anyway. So we put a battery in the remote. That didn't do anything. The first thing we did was we held it up here when we were trying to start it, because this is basically your backup antenna. There's antennas in this car that pick up that remote if it's inside the cab. That should allow it to start if it sees the key. But if the battery in the remote's getting weak, or the transmitter in the remote's getting weak, you can hold it here, which is, there's an antenna right here, and it should start the car. We had to sit there and hold it like this and turn it and turn it and turn it and mess with it, and finally the car started. So we've got it running. I'm not going to turn it back off again, because we turned it back off and then wouldn't start back up again. We had to sit there and mess around with it again, and we finally got it to start back up again. So we're going to do an auto scan on this thing now, and I'm sitting in this seat leaning back and stuff, because we're just going to see. We're going to see if we have anything. I can go ahead and put that over there where you're at. Let's just put it there. I don't know if that's helping you or not. It ain't looking too promising just even now. We got no check engine lights. We've got, the only thing it's saying is the door's open. It said something about a bulb in the back just a second ago. So seatbelt. We should. All right, so no response on the DME. That's the engine control module. We're going to back out of this thing. We're not going to sit here and let this thing. We are definitely not going to sit here and just let this thing go for the next 25 minutes, knowing that it's not going to. If it doesn't respond, if it doesn't have a communication with the engine control module, all bets are off on everything else. This thing's running. So we're going to back all the way out of this thing. I just hit escape. It's going to take it a minute to figure that out. I'm going to back all the way out of this car, go back into the car on here, and hopefully, clearly we've made progress here, because we've got no 911 calls anymore. The 911 center, I'm sure, is extremely happy. So we've got no 911 calls. We've got, here's our left brake lamp malfunction, okay, but that's it. We've got no other lights on the dash. The instrument cluster is working. We're got RPM. All right, so let's back out of the car. Maybe something happened when we tried to go to the car, because it wasn't communicating right, and maybe it misidentified or something. So let's go ahead and. All right. So it identified faster that time than it had. So now it looks like we're getting some stuff here. So let's go ahead and just the seat is.
You put it back where it was.
Yeah, we definitely got to get the seat back bolted down. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Clearly something's different here. We don't have to list anymore. We got
There
topology.
we go.
Now we're into stuff. All right. So again, guys, keep it simple. I mean, you know, just like you guys,
You're good.
that could be, I can't see it hardly. Let me put it here. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to do, I want to see what the faults are. Under voltage to the control unit on the power steering. What was that?
I was showing sync. I didn't know you were
Oh.
going that fast.
Okay, roof. We've got
What was
Hall
the
effect
first one?
sensor. We had low voltage
Sorry. Okay, got it.
to the electric power steering. We've got our roof function center. We've got lots of different stuff going on there. Tilt sunroof
sunroof.
drive interrupted due to excess temperature. All right.
She said her sunroof didn't work.
Before the
Yeah,
water or after?
before.
All right. Here's our emergency call box. So all those say intermittent now. We don't know what they said before because we never could get in here, but clearly it had codes in there. We've got our rear module. We've got brake light. Looks like turn indicator. Okay, we got some AC stuff. What I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for any signs of why this thing, central gateway, synchronization process for FlexRay, central fault, memory full. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm going to do is we're going to just go ahead and erase everything. And hopefully be able to start this car up normally. I mean, the car was running. It came in here running. All right, what do we got on that?
Probably
That's
brake
still that
light.
same weird code, though. That was a weird code. Some kind of memory full, no control unit fault. All right, we're just gonna not do a whole lot on that one. All right, let's go ahead and do that there. All right, so do we want to take a chance here?
Yep.
Let's take the keys. Still don't have anything happening there. Nope. Nope. Starts right up that time with the key that way. We could just have a bad key. I don't know. Maybe this was already happening like that. I'm not sure. We'd need to get some information from the client.
Yeah, they might have been going on for a while.
We don't know because we don't really have any codes in here other than that weird. We'll find out what that is, but I don't think that has anything to do with the key. But here's the thing is, the good thing about this car is it tells you what to do, because a lot of cars don't. It tells you what to do if this thing won't pick up in the car, and they might have been putting it here this whole time. That could be a key. That could be some of the other antennas that are in the car. But at this point, we need to find out from the client, was that already a previous concern and they don't really worry about it, or is this something that happened with the water, because maybe there's some communication issues with these antennas, that, you know, the low frequency antennas for the key to be picked up. So we've got the big problem fixed. We've got the 911 to stop being called every, couple of minutes. That's fixed. We saw that connection fix that. We don't know what's going on with the key deal. We're gonna have to get a hold of the client and find out if that key deal was already happening, or if it's something that has happened since the water got in there. We'll have to get into all that. The main thing we want to do today was get this thing to stop calling 911, because obviously we don't want the call center inundated with calls from this car. So that's fixed. We hope you like that part of it. If you want to see, so obviously now we've got to figure out the water leak and possibly the key problem. If you want to see those, we can do a part 2 if you guys are interested in it. So definitely leave a comment down there if you want to see that, and we'll see if we can work through this process of finding these leaks. It's going to be a little more difficult on this one because we can't get the sunroof open, and we got to get it all dried out. That's 100% got to happen. So, but anyway, I hope you like this one. It was kind of all over the place a little bit, but hey, we found the problem. It didn't take us a ton of time, and it was a weird one. So it's kind of fun to it wasn't fun to talk to 911 45 times, but they were pretty nice about it. So Appreciate you guys watching. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and leave us a comment. Let us know if you want to see the next update on this vehicle. See you in the next one.